Welcome to YOUCANIC. Here we're going to answer a question that we normally get very frequently, and is whether you can bring the ignition and a key from a donor vehicle and put it in your car so that you can have maybe a new key or a couple of new keys, whatever. So we're going to explain what it's required when you have a Mercedes and what you need from the donor vehicle in order to install in your car so you can get your car started. I mean, this you can also do if, let's say, you have a bad ECU, for example. This also will apply in that case, because you cannot bring just the ECU from another car. The only way to do that, you can, but if you're gonna get a used one, it's not gonna work. You need other parts, which I'm gonna go over in a minute. The only way to do it is to get either a new one and then code it to your vehicle, or it is possible to get a used ECU, but then there's specialty shops that will erase the data of the old vehicle and basically make that ECU look like brand new to the car, and then it needs to be programmed. But let's go first. If you have a vehicle, let's say you lost all the keys, you have a Mercedes, lost all the keys, so you find a donor vehicle and you want to take the parts. What will you need? So what you will need in that case, first you're going to need the key, of course. The second thing you're going to need is the ignition EIS, the ignition module right here. This is where you insert the key, right? We've pulled this all apart. This vehicle has been flooded, so there's another application where you need to know. Here we have a W204 C class. So in this case, you also need the steering lock mechanism. So this goes right underneath the steering column right there, and it locks the steering wheel. So this also has the number coded to it, so you can't take one of these from another car and install it. You're going to need the ECU, or the engine control module. It's installed by the engine in the engine bay, so that is going to need to be, so all those things: key, ignition lock, ignition, ECU, all those 4 parts will need to be taken from a donor vehicle and installed in this. Now that is the case for the C class, and this is 2005. Now if on some models, what Mercedes has done to prevent vehicle theft, they are writing or coding, making sure that more modules be coded to that VIN number. So let's say if you have a S class, for example, even from 2005, you will also need the shifter, because that shifter is going to have the VIN number written on it, not physically written on it, but what I mean by written on it is I'm referring to software and coding. So that's what you're gonna need on a C class. Now if you have a newer Mercedes, you're gonna need, for example, also the TCU, the transmission control unit, that's installed inside the transmission. That's also coded and has the VIN number, so that VIN number has to match with the VIN number of the vehicle in order for you to be able to start and get the car to start. So keep in mind, the newer the vehicle is going to be, more modules you might need. The basic ones are the ones that I mentioned, so the ECU, engine control unit, ignition lock, key. Those shifter was the next one that became very also is coded in some models. And then as the cars get newer, then you got transmission control module. Transmission control module is not required on the 5-speed the models with a 5-speed transmission, which was very common up to about 2005. But once you go to 7-speed, then you need that. You're gonna need a transmission control unit to take it from the old car and install it on yours, and the same for the 9-speed transmission. So keep in mind, like, you have to research a little bit and find out what modules need coding for your vehicle. So if, let's say, if you take those modules from another donor car and you find out you need 4, you need 5 modules, whichever one are coded, require coding and writing of the VIN via software, and you install them on your car, then you should be able to start up the car and drive it. But as the cars do get newer, then you're gonna have more modules. Now we're seeing things like If it's a mild hybrid, for example, we're seeing things like the hybrid battery also being, you know, coded with a VIN number, so you can get a used hybrid battery and swap it, and that's becoming more required after 2015 or so. 2010 hybrids, Mercedes hybrids, you could swap a used battery. But again, if the only other way that you could get these to work is to find a specialty shop that will basically erase the memory of these, and that makes it available even of a used unit, and that makes it available so that via coding you can now write the VIN number of your vehicle. So that is the only way. For example, that's common. For example, this EIS, this ignition, do fail quite a bit, quite often on these. So there's at a dealership they'll replace the whole thing, but there's shops that will take these and repair it. They can repair your old one, or what they can do is they can take a used unit, erase previous vehicle data, VIN and everything, make it look like virgin. Basically, it's called virgin. So make it look like there's no code and it's ready to be programmed. So that's it. Thank you.